Hey, how you doing? It's Leanne Phillipson, registered nutritionist. And yes, this is a pre-recorded cook together because today I'm going to make food that I'm going to take with me as I go sailing this evening. One of my favorite pastimes that has not really happened quite as much this year. So I jumped on the chance when I got an invitation to go sailing today on a friend's, great friend, a new boat that he's got. So I'm gonna make some food to take after, and this is actually the second time I've made this kind of board because it is so fast and it's so easy. Well, I say fast, it just takes a little bit of thought to get everything together, a little bit of pre-prep, and it is just tremendous. You can put this together for the family, you can take it anywhere, to a backyard barbecue, to friends, to on a picnic. I'm going to show you how I'm going to pack it up and take it with me and then unfold it at the other end. Well, I won't show you that, but I'll send you pictures. I'll post those on social media just so that you can see. But so that we've got a whole bunch of different things going on here that are more based on vegetables, because who doesn't need to eat more vegetables? I included. I definitely need to eat more vegetables. So when they're in this form and in a super, super tasty way, then I just find it makes it so much easier to eat the veggies that we really want to have, but sometimes we're not so inspired. We're not really sure, what do I do with these all? That's not even a sentence. Do with all these. There we go. Okay. So I've got my board here. Now, lots of people, I've got a friend who has the most stunning charcuterie board. I've got a few friends actually that haven't. This is just a wooden chopping board. You can really present your food any way that you like. So I'm gonna make a few things, but I also want to show you what I've pre-made in advance, which actually took like no time, and the fact that it's all ready to go now makes my life so much easier, and it's not like an extra stress and an extra thinking for me. So in this container here, so last night I was with a friend, and while we were cooking dinner, of which I have some leftover salmon that's also gonna go on my board because we were just too stuffed to try and eat the salmon. So she made a beautiful marinade for the salmon, which was ginger, soy sauce, honey, and olive oil. And that was it. She just marinated it and threw it on the barbecue. So this is what we've got left over. So this is definitely going to go on my board. I'm probably going to put this in another container, or maybe I'll just leave it in the tinfoil. Easy to transport. So that's one of those things. Gonna move the mic out of the way here. Oh, sorry, that probably just about hurt your ears. Okay, so I'm also gonna make up a lovely tomato salad. In one of my previous cook-togethers, I did that. I have to make it anyway, so I might make it with you guys as well. But in this one here, I have some portobello mushrooms that I picked up from the market a couple of weeks ago. This is some leftover halloumi cheese, which we also did on the barbecue. And this is a summer squash. And these are so cute. It's like a yellow zucchini squished down. So it's sort of just, I don't know, look up summer squash. And so what I did was I did the same marinade for both the mushrooms and the summer squash. And then I actually used the same marinade again for the tomato salad, which essentially was some olive oil, some garlic, fresh garlic, and also some balsamic vinegar, salt and pepper, and then just tossed it. And then when the mushrooms are all finished cooking, then I just slice them into kind of slices, and then I'm gonna put them all over the board. Not all over, I'm gonna put like piles, just like the photo that I put in for the promo of this cook together. Then you just slice it up, and then you can pretty much put just a pile of mushrooms in one spot. Then I can put a pile of halloumi in another spot. I'm going to take along some toothpicks with me. I'm going to put the summer squash in another pile, maybe some of the salmon in another pile, and then here I have some new potatoes that I boiled up. And I started to kind of smash one of them, but I wanted to show you. So when you make smashed roasted potatoes, I could just take these as they are and maybe toss them in a little bit of garlic, olive oil, balsamic, you know, I mean, just, you don't want everything to be all the same flavor, but this could have anything on top of it. But what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to smash all the potatoes with the palm of my hand into this. And having said this, I'm going to do this on parchment. Before I go any further, we just wrapped this up last night. So I'm going to grab one of my, sorry, I know that my microphone makes everything that much louder. So I just wanted to get the sound going. All right, better on parchment because they might stick. So parchment tends to be a bit better for non-sticking. Now you're able to see, there goes my garlic press. Half my garlic press. As soon as I got the microphone out to use today and I thought, oh yeah, let's just try it out and see how the sound is for you guys. Then of course everything drops and it's going to be that much more amplified. Okay, so basically what you do is you just use the back of your hand and you just smush these guys. And these are, I don't know, I love new potatoes. I'm not really a potato person, but there's something about new potatoes that are super fine, maybe. I don't know. The potato just ends up being really smooth. I used the word fine the other day and I thought, really, what am I trying to say here? It is that it makes them much more smooth. Not that a potato is unsmooth, but do you know what I mean? They're kind of like end up being smooth. So smash, smash, smash. And what's going to happen is I'm going to put these in the oven and then they're going to end up all kind of roasted and gorgeous and super duper tasty. And it doesn't matter that they won't be hot, because anybody that likes a French fry, well, maybe these don't turn out like French fries, but anybody that does, when it's the round ones, you really got to use the heel of your hand when it's the other little guys. So normally you would just have this as a half a potato, but who cares? Anyway, what I was saying was anybody that likes fries, not so nice cold, but this is just going to be a part of my board because, you know, why not? And then I'm going to show you a really fast way to do shrimps as well. So I'm done with that. So on to here, I'm actually, tuck that in, I'm going to get my olive oil. And it's really about the flavor of the smashed potatoes and the not ever so healthy, but you can just kind of go easy with it, salt. So today I'm going to use some of my almost finished, what a disaster. This is my favorite accompaniment. I used more of a herb one, and this is a Sriracha Sauce. So I'm going to put that now. I'm not putting, this isn't all salt. There's a whole bunch of herbs or spices in here as well. So you can be much more generous when you use something like this. So that's it. That's gonna go in the oven. You could toss them a little bit more, but I'm just going for it. So this is the same sort of theory that I did with the, or that you could do. I did this with beets before. I've roasted carrots before. And then once they cool and you put them on the board, they're absolutely amazing. So I'm gonna go throw these into the oven. So hang tight right there. There we go, just like that. I'm gonna put on my hob here, and I'm going to show you how to do a little fast something with some shrimps that I've got here that have been defrosted. Now these are super duper quick. I need to press the garlic. So garlic in anything is amazing for our immune system. It's good for our detoxification pathways, and is just one of those things that I talked about putting in with an omelet for when you have a hangover. I just had a question from someone while she's pregnant. She's not sure if she should be having as much garlic as she is. To my knowledge, there's no particular concern with having garlic while you're pregnant, so you can continue to do that. I will respond to her as well as direct her to this as well. So some garlic I should have probably done it all because I'm going to need this for a couple of other things. So the thing is, when you're making up a plate, or a board, I should say, is that you want some different flavors going on. You want some different textures going on. So obviously here, if you haven't had halloumi cheese before and grilled it, it's kind of hard and squeaky. It's just such a great texture. So that's what's in the middle here. And then we've got something really soft, which is the summer squash and also the mushrooms. I'm gonna whip up these, once the pan gets hot enough, I'm gonna whip up these shrimp and show you what that's all about. And then I'm gonna add in my favorite seafood spice, which many people would never think of doing, is curry powder. One of my favorites to add to, oddly enough, scallops. Who knew? Scallops and just a smidge of curry powder are absolutely delicious. One of those things, right? Just never would have thought necessarily to do that, but they are so, so good. So I'm just getting this pan hot. It's on a small, it's getting there. It's on a small one, but as I've done in previous other cook-togethers, I'll try my best not to let it go completely crazy. In the meantime, because I don't know if you're a multitasker or not, but I sure am, then I'm gonna make up something which is so contrasting to all of everything that I've got roasted here. Is some lovely, these are local cucumbers, and I'm adding them into, remember, I'm going to take all of this with me tonight for everybody to enjoy after we've been sailing. So this has to go into a container that is not going to leak. Really important. And we're gonna make kind of like our own little pickles. Cucumber, chopped up, apple cider vinegar, cover, or I'm gonna do it by half because otherwise I'll end up with way too much. And we're nearly ready here. Some salt. And as with, we should do some oysters sometime. Did you know oysters are my favorite food? Anyway, I've got more of that coming up on the upcoming podcast. Tons of salt. No, not tons of salt. Tons of pepper and a little bit of salt can go into this. Put the lid on, which I put somewhere. And hey, presto. That's just gonna sit for however long. They can sit for days, but put the lid on, give it a little whoosh around, and that's done. That's it. Just that is such a contrast to all of the ooziness of this. It's absolutely amazing. I can smell behind me here. See, I left it too long, just by a couple of minutes, so I've got some schmirkiness going on here. So we'll cool that down. And you know what? I always forget that I can do this once I've made it far too hot, is I can bring it over here. So into my frying pan that has nothing underneath it is gonna go that gorgeous garlic. Now this is a fresh garlic, so it's almost like transparent. It is just amazing. I'm gonna put in just a little bit of curry powder, and then stir. Let me get my other one. Cast iron loves to hold on to stuff, so just stir that around a little bit and throw in the shrimp. And that's it. Shrimp do not take very long to cook at all. And you can cook them in butter depending on what fat you like. And you know what? A lot of people would say, oh my god, a nutritionist is talking about butter. Please use the butter. The butter is far, far better for you than margarine or anything else. But I've just used a little bit of olive oil here. If you're going to take these and these are going to be cold, then like butter gets cool. So it's much better to do this with an oil. So of course now I'm losing a lot of heat in my pan, but you can see that there's just that little bit of yellow going on there from the curry powder. Let me put that on here now. And really, as soon as your shrimp go kind of pink, they're done. That's it. And then I'm going to add those to another container. Maybe I'll put that in the same container as the salmon. I love these because they've got so much room. You can pretty much just plate everything up. And a couple more minutes. You could try this with scallops too if you wanted to. They're pretty much transparent. I can see a little bit of gray on just a couple of them. And then how fun is it to eat these with a toothpick? Everybody can put some on their little plate that I've got for them, or whatever they want. And hey presto, put all that lovely garlic on top as well. Da, da, da. Okay, so how long did that take? That was super quick. So into here, I will now I'm gonna cube this up just to make it easier for people to grab a piece, toothpick or otherwise. And again, we've got a whole other taste and flavor from the salmon and also the marinade that was on that. Remember that was, I think it was like a tablespoon or two of soy sauce. It was a tablespoon of oil, a tablespoon of, I said soy sauce, oil, ginger, and garlic. That was it. That was it. That was all she put on it, and it's absolutely delicious. So there is some protein aspect of this. If you want to put on some prosciutto or something like that, then of course you can. But right now, this is looking like a very healthy board. I think so. So we've got the veggies. We've got a little bit of that halloumi cheese. We've got the cucumber that I made. We've got the fish. And then how about some fresh vegetables? Because again, that's gonna give a little bit of crunch. It's gonna change things up. I will have the tomato salad as well. I do have a Ace Bakery baguette as well, which is gonna be delicious. And then I'm gonna chop up some beets. I'm gonna have some beets and maybe some carrots just on the side, so that I've got a hummus that I can use as well. And maybe if you wanted to add in some olives, any kind of slightly different pickled anything would be amazing. I actually picked up some brined vegetables at the market the other day too. So we want to make these into French fry shapes. And when I taught my mommy chef cooking classes years ago, then I always taught how to chop. So because we've got something that's really round, then you just want to create a flat surface here, and then you go from one side to the other. And then when you get so far, it's not so bad with this, then you just lay that down, and then you go across, and then, again, because it's round, it's not going to be a perfect sort of fry shape, but that's pretty much it. Then you can come back here, line those guys up, and then go across, and it's super quick to chop up, just like that. And then this is the last piece here. When was the last time you ate raw beets? Have you ever eaten raw beets? Well, today maybe is the day. Next time you go and pick up some beets. They are so sweet. They are so good, and they actually tell you a lot about your body. If you go and eat beets, raw beets or pickled beets or whatever kind of beets, and you end up and you have kind of pinkish urine, that means that there's not quite enough stomach acid going on in your body. So it's a really, really good test that I do with a lot of my clients to say, when was the last time you ate beets? And if you did eat beets, what happened? So there you go. That's also another really great way to see what's going on in your body, because we shouldn't really pee pink. I remember years ago, I gave my daughter beets and I forgot. And then she went for a pee, and because she was so young, I was there with her, and then I was like, I think she's peeing blood. This is not good, or there must be blood in there. Maybe she has a urinary tract infection. So I had my husband, or my ex-husband now, my husband at the time, take her to the doctor, and they did all sorts of checks and all those kind of things. And then later on I said, I forgot. I gave her beets. I'm so sorry. So that was like a Saturday to the doctor kind of trip, because I totally forgot about it. Yeah, So it happens. Worried mom would definitely, do that kind of thing. So here I've got some beets. I've got some baby carrots somewhere. I'm going to put those along here. That can go with the hummus. And I also grabbed some tzatziki as well. So you can see how this board is going to come together. Now, you know what? Let me make up the board because I want to show you how you do it. You just kind of do make up a bunch of different kind of sections. So if you've got something like some little bowls or something like that, I've got a bunch of these somewhere, not sure where they went, something like this for the cucumbers, that would be tremendous because it just, today I might just do that, but otherwise you can throw these in and then it just, again, it's really easy. Some sort of small bowl, nothing has to match. And then I'm going to pour all this back in here afterwards. We've got our lovely pile of mushroom. To the side is the halloumi. Here is the summer squash. Let me put that over there. And then I'm going to put the salmon, because it's another different, just like a different color, right, on this side. The shrimp, which is still slightly cooling down. How about I put this guy over here? And then I will put the beets. And let me find my baby carrots. Let's throw a few of them over in the orange section here. So, and all of this can be completely roasted if you want. And don't forget that I've got the potatoes coming still. So I might just move that over and put those in there. And then, hey, presto, we've got a board ready to go. And it doesn't matter what's going on. You can put I'm going to put some crackers here. The baguette that I'll chop up, I might just put that in a bowl on the side. And then people will be able to take their tomato salad once I make that up with my fresh basil that I've got going on here. Once all that goes into another bowl, really, which is, this will not leak, so I'm going to make it in here. Then I'll add in some bucatini cheese. That is that recipe was in a previous cook together about 3 or 4 weeks ago, I think. That was the fresh summer salads, which were just gorgeous. So just head back there if you want to see me make that. But otherwise, look at this. Isn't that so simple to do? Anything that, a bunch of leftovers can go on a board and revolutionize what it is that you're offering to the whole family. So this is a really great one. I think it looks really pretty. And then once I add in the extra little things like these are Mary's crackers, which are our family favorite. We love those ones. So you can just put a few on there like that. And then, yeah, you can use whatever it is that you've got, whatever it is that you want. And even if you get your kids in the kitchen to also make up this kind of board, that's a whole other new way to be able to say, hey, let's try something a little bit different. And why don't you guys do that this time? Because mom and dad can maybe go out back, get themselves a little glass of something, and just see what it is that the kids come out with. It's also a hoot to have that happen too. So you definitely want to just try it out. I want to see your boards. Post below if you make up some sort of board. Let me know what it is that you've made. Now, this past week on the Eat This with Leanne podcast, I went deep on what is the root cause of being overweight. And that could be 5 pounds overweight. That could be 25, 50, 100, 150 pounds overweight in the case of obesity. Then I really want you to head over there and have a listen. I went a little complex in some places, but as Chris explained in the middle of it, I just take it all back. I take all these kind of crazy dots that are around in situations that just look like they're one great big mess of, oh my gosh, I don't even know where to begin and I don't even know what to do. And I really feel like my expertise is a place where I take all of these crazy things and then I put them together and then I make more of a straight line out of them. So I hope that you've enjoyed this. I hope it's given you some inspiration. And I also hope that you can head over to leannephillipson.com and check out the latest podcast. Please share it far and wide. I really put so much into it that I really hope that that's what's happening. I hope that it's spreading more and that more and more people are hearing what it is that I research, that I interview, that I put together. And in this coming episode is going to be a little bit more about myself and about my producer Chris. We're going to take on some questions that some people have been asking along the way. So I thought, okay, let's just do a podcast about us. So you'll get to know a little bit more about me, get to know a little bit more about him and how all of this comes together, because you know, it's really an incredible thing to have someone not only to collaborate with, but then also who who's so invested in it as well, and he certainly is. So you can always go to sproutright.com/cook together to get the recipes, the ideas, and all of that I put together for these. It is a lot of content, guys. I'm going to throw this into I'm not even sure when, maybe another book or something like that for you, and then you can get that there, and of course you can find everything about my supplements on sproutright.com as well. All the Take This line, and there's so much there. I very often forget to talk about it, to promote it, to let you know what's there, but also so much is there for you. I don't want it to be overwhelming, but I just really want it to be supportive. So thanks so much for tuning in today, and I'll post some pictures of me out and about sailing with some, maybe I'll make up the board and you'll see the final, once I've made it up, I should say. I'll take a picture, I'll post it to social media so you get to see that, and maybe the sailboat in the background. All right, I will see you now next week. I'm going to take the week off next week, so I'm going to see you guys in a couple of weeks, and we'll start to talk about back to school, no matter what that looks like, whether it's homeschooling or anything else, the following week after that. But I'm going to have a few days away with my girls, and make them make up one of these boards for me. That's for sure. All right, take good care, guys, and I'll see you next in 2 weeks' time. I'll see you then.